Students, myself Ajit Pratap Singh. Today in video number 44th, I will tell you about droughts, floods, and later on I'll let you know about conservation of water. That is our main topic. Okay, students, followed by rainwater harvesting. So let's start with the droughts. As you all know that the condition in which there is a scarcity of water at a great level, and that condition is known as droughts. When water is not available in a proper amount, then that condition over a long period of time is known as droughts. In our country like India, there is a very little rainfall during the summer months in some parts of the states like Rajasthan and Gujarat mainly, and this leads to a shortage of water. Summer is followed by the monsoon that brings rain generally in the month of July and August. However, sometimes rain may fail during the monsoons also in some areas of the country, as I told you, like Rajasthan and Gujarat. And because of this, a severe shortage of water in those parts can be seen. Rivers and ponds also dry up. The soil also become dry as it continues to lose water by evaporation and also due to transpiration by plants. Crops cannot grow properly. Such a condition is called a drought. In our country, some of the states like Rajasthan, Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh generally face this condition of drought. This is because the monsoon winds lose most of their moisture by the time they reach these places. Therefore, there is a very little rainfall in these states even in the monsoon season. And even though the monsoon is normal, shortage of water during drought affects all of us. As crops dry up, the people worst affected are the farmers. As the land is dry, the fertile topsoil is blown away by winds. So this condition is known as soil erosion. The removal of topsoil is known as soil erosion. It further increases the problems of farmers as the soil becomes less fertile as well. The shortage of grains, fruits and vegetables that follow affects us all. Livestock and other animals also perish due to shortage of fodder and water. This results in a shortage of milk and meat, further adding to our problems. If monsoons fail for several years in a row, it can lead to a severe drought. People may even die due to a shortage of food and water. Such a condition is known as a famine. People may also die due to spread of diseases. I would like to show you one picture of drought in which you can see there is a lot of cracks are available inside the soil, and the amount of moisture is also lost, and the plants are also decreasing their natural growth, and they are also turning yellow from green because of the severe shortage of water. Okay, students, so this is the condition of drought. Now we will talk about floods. This is just opposite of drought. When there is a high amount of rainfall in certain parts of the country, then this condition is known as floods. In most part of the country, it rains heavily, especially in the northeast region, in the Meghalaya, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Tripura, Manipur, etc. Often there is so much water in the rivers that many of them rise above their banks and flow into the nearby lands. Such a condition is known as floods. The flow of water can be very strong and it damages crops, roads and houses also. Crops that get covered with water cannot grow properly, as we all know. This leads to food shortage. Electric lines, water supply and communication networks also get affected by the floods. There is shortage of food, drinking water and shelter. The waterlogging, which may last for several days, can lead to outbreak of diseases such as cholera, malaria, and dengue. Peop- People and animals may die due to drowning, hunger, thirst, and diseases. Okay, students. So I would like to show you the picture of flood. As you can see, lot of water is available around, and then when water covers everything, then that condition is known as floods. In another picture, you can see that there is a huge damage due to cyclone, right? In coastal areas are the areas which are very much near to the seas. Flooding is often caused by cyclones. A cyclone is very strong wind accompanied with very heavy rain. So when there is a combination of, when there is a mixture of heavy rain and very strong wind, then that condition is known as cyclones. The strong wind causes high waves called tidal waves in the sea. They cause flooding in coastal areas. In our country, states like Andhra Pradesh, Assam, Bihar, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Odisha, Tamil Nadu, and West Bengal are especially prone to floods and cyclones. So these are the states of India where the floods and cyclone generally come. Okay, students. Now the next slide. Now we will talk about our main topic, that is conservation of water. How we can conserve the water for a future use, because it is very necessary nowadays, because the increase of population is very much nowadays. Conservation of water means the wise and careful use of water. It means not wasting water and also maintaining its quality. Some ways in which water can be conserved are as follows. First one is avoid wastage of water and recycle wherever it is possible. Plant trees and more other vegetations. This increases the absorption of water by the soil and increases the water table as well. So afforestation can be the method of this for conserving the water. Reduce water pollution by treating sewage and factory waste before disposing them. Control flooding and store water for use when rain fails by building dams. However, big dams have their own problems. They destroy wildlife and displace people from their homes. Also, accumulation of silt in the shortage reservoir reduces their effectiveness with time. Next slide. So now we'll talk about some methods by which we can conserve the water. First one is rainwater harvesting, and it consists of storing rainwater for later use. The amount of water seeping into the ground has reduced because of cutting down of trees and by the construction of roads and buildings. So as we all know that due to the construction of roads and buildings, the problem is very huge nowadays. So that's why storing rainwater is very necessary nowadays. These have reduced the area over which water can seep into the soil. The rainwater that falls on such structures flows off into drains which empty them into rivers or lakes. Rainwater harvesting can be done in the following two ways. First one is rooftop rainwater harvesting. In this method, the water which falls on the roof of a building is allowed to flow either into a storage tank, and used for activities such as watering plants. Alternatively, it is allowed to flow into a deep pit into the ground so that it adds to groundwater. The second one is known as roadside rainwater harvesting. The rainwater that flows into the roadside drains is allowed to flow into deep pits so that it adds to the groundwater. Okay, students. So this is the image of rooftop rainwater harvesting. As you can see, whatever rainwater comes onto the or falls onto the roof of a building, that enters into the pipes, and ultimately it is stored into the storage tank. And there is recharge pit is also available. So this is how we can conserve the water for the later use. And I hope now you will be able to tell about whatever I have told you very easily. So thanks for watching this video.